very young department, one of the youngest departments at the university, and we keep changing because the situation, the context is always changing in the park. So we add on courses, we develop new courses. So there are many issues, many scale. The scales are different, the issues are different, resources are different, and it's such a complex web of things that defines, that guides us develop our own program. So with this sort of thing, we have two main streams in our department, which is the Human and Natural Resources Studies and Development Studies. The Human and Natural Resources Studies, which is the older version. In fact, this used to be the only program until 2008. Development Studies was added in 2008. The HNR, as we call it in short, looks at different aspects of natural resources from a social aspect. That's why we have added at the beginning. We talk about land, we talk about forest, we talk about wildlife, we talk about population development, environmental impact assessment, we talk about conflict and resource management, we talk about
center of excellence, then identify staff within those institutions, train them to be trainers, and then they take this agenda forward. So you develop capacity within the country, and when all these trainers are trained across countries in the region, then they start sharing their experiences with each other, and then there is a regional capacity built for this particular issue. So all of you know about Nepal. Nepal of course was not a British colony, but the Land Acquisition Act is pretty similar to what India, Pakistan and Bangladesh has. India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, till very recently in India, was following 1894 Land Acquisition Act, the colonial act, which only said land can be acquired for compensation, and compensation will be based on average of last 3 or 5 years of sale deals. And the practice in the region is always to give wrong statement to the government. If you purchase a land for $100,000, you always say about bought it for $50,000 because then you save on stamp duty. As a result, the recorded statement was always almost 50% or 1/3 of the actual market price, so compensation was always lower. And that created a problem when you go for land acquisition, because what you're paying as a government, you're paying to the landowner is much less than the market value, and then there are unrest among the community against that particular project.
Before I start the presentation, in fact, let me start my presentation with a project that was implemented in Bangladesh in 1960s when Bangladesh was part of Pakistan. This was a hydroelectric dam project, mostly outfield dam. You can see the pictures, though a bit hazy here. And the only hydroelectric project so far in Bangladesh, producing electricity which amounts less than 5% that the country is producing now. And this project was built without any consultation with the local indigenous communities. Those who had been living in Chittagong hill tracts, we say, the tribal people, indigenous community. And you see, this flooded an area of 655 square kilometers and inundated 22,000 hectares of cultivable land, which was in fact 40% of the total cultivable land of the region. You can see 80,000 houses are submerged, and it displaced about 100,000 indigenous people. Very few got compensation, as there was no policies, rules, regulations regarding.
The government comes with a proposal saying we need this kind of support, some individual comes or some academic institution wants to do it, but somebody has to come out with that proposal so the bank can come and support.
I think the issue here, and I would like others to join in and share your comments. I'll come to you, Abhinash. I mean, why I was interested in this, why my department was interested in this, is that developing a course yourself is a sort of a consumption, as opposed to a consulting agency. University, when it develops a course, then it will go on for some time. And through that, we see the possibility of expanding it further. But the question being raised and the concern, I think, is, well, this is really an important issue. This is not going to go away. So, and we need proper properly trained, as everybody agreed here, train human resources. And one of the ways to train, produce human resources is conduct a long-term PhD research, postdoc research, who will be academicians as well as trainers, and who will be the people that we are talking about, with what we're envisioning right now. So that long-term academic course. But for me, I see it as a beginning towards that goal. I mean, we start with the master's course. I would like to see that.
It's another issue that came up. The other is this transhumanist practice where people migrate from mountaintops to the middle of the mountains and then to the flatlands depending on seasons. So if their access to one particular area is blocked, then their whole livelihood is affected. So this kind of migration practice is another issue that came out as being quite important, something that needs to be considered while designing these resettlement packages.
One issue is the issue of GIS and remote sensing as a tool in this MLARR. Now we have in this hall people like Reshma and land resource people who are not only personally committed but as an institution. Land Resource Center in Kathmandu University is already starting a master program. So they have both the competence, the expert and the institutional commitment already there. I know that geography department also had some experience in the Trent Institute GIS and remote sensing. And whenever you talk about land resources, like Mr. Alamgir talked about this flooded area, every single area and locations and how much damage can be sort of customized with access to that tool. But I don't see any of that tool being incorporated in the literature, in the course material, whether it is 3-day or 1 year. I haven't seen that. Maybe it is there, but if it is not there, I think it ought to be.
And I have some concern and sustainability of your intervention. And actually, it is very nice to hear that the PU is going to adopt this kind of syllabus. It has a long and sustaining effect. And you should also try to find out a very good think tank and organization who are really devoted to work on the land issues.
I think it's very important as well for if World Bank is developing projects, they also are experts in sociology, looking at the communities. So also these projects should be developed in a framework of sustainability and sensitivity of communities.
Thank you very much. This ends our workshop for today. Thank you all once again. I'd like to invite you